I gotta tell you guys a story. I look around to the front. Oh my Lord, I can't believe what I'm looking at. The bolt came out. It is still January out there. Wow. All right. This is a video I never really wanted to make. Never expected to, but here we are. Well, I gotta tell you guys a story. Back a few years ago, it's been, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, I did a video about this Generac generator sitting here. And you'll see I put a video in there about my installation and how the whole installation went, the implementation into the house, and it was a pretty good setup. And it worked really well for several years. Now, keep in mind, although I live in a rural area of Maine, it's not power outage all the time type of rural. The substation for our area is just a couple of miles away. So power outages are pretty rare, a few times a year at the most, and normally only last a few hours. So we don't usually experience 12-hour outages, multi-day outages. That's not common for us here. But I do enjoy the modern conveniences of having electricity. So although we have wood fires and I can burn coal in the house, I've got lots of options, oil, heat pumps, all kinds of things. It's nice to have electricity. So I enjoy having an automatic standby generator. It's easy and my family appreciates it. So that's why we have it. Fast forward to about 2 years ago now. Hard to believe, it's been almost 2 years, year and a half. My wife comes to me one day and she says, "Hey, have you heard the generator exercise lately?" She said, "I feel like I haven't heard it run." And it would always run Sunday evenings. Usually if we were out doing something around, we'd usually be back around the house Sunday evening. So that was kind of the best time to let it run so we could be here and hear it. Now, I don't know about you, but if you get used to something running every Sunday, when it doesn't, I almost don't notice it. You'd think you'd notice it, but I don't really notice it. Well, she picked up on it. She said, "That's weird. I don't think I've heard that run recently." So I was like, I think you're right. I don't think I have either. Let me go check on it. So I go outside, and this was a while ago. I didn't record any video of it. I do have some pictures that I'll show you. You're going to want to see them. So I went out and I hit the manual button to start it, and the engine just spun freely. No compression, just starter engaged and spun full speed, no compression at all. And I thought, well, that's not a very reassuring sign. It's almost like, my brain went to, did like this spark plug back its way out of the hole or something? Like that's how it sounded. So I took the cover off and inspected the inside, and I started from the back side and looked at the engine from behind. That's just where I took the cover off. Looked at the engine from there. Nothing really jumped out. Spark plug's still in place. Okay. And I look around to the front, and immediately I said, "Oh my Lord, I can't believe what I'm looking at right now." And so that's what I wanted to show you. This engine, keep in mind, I took pretty good care of this. This was our automatic standby. We're relying on this for heat in the wintertime, for refrigeration in the summertime. It's an important piece of equipment. So I was pretty good with maintenance on it. It always had the oil changed every fall before wintertime came. I'd regularly check the oil. I checked valve clearances. I was inspecting the thing regularly. And it really only had maybe 200 hours on it at the time that this happened. So very low time engine. Now, granted, I know it's a splash lubricated engine. It's not a pressure lubricated. It's not an 1800 RPM liquid cooled diesel generator that I'm gonna see 10,000 hours out of. I knew that going into it. I did expect maybe I'd get more than 200 hours out of it. And so anyway, that brings us to here, because instead of fixing it, I was irritated with it. I was frustrated with it. And I said, a baby's coming out. So I took it out, and I've got another video I'm going to show you that's going to be coming, and I'm going to show you what I did instead. And spoiler alert, there's no engine in this. It's for my situation, I think it's a really good solution. But I have found an engine for this. I'm kind of giving away what happened, but I found an engine for this generator, and I'm probably going to order that. It's a good setup. The automatic transfer switch that comes with it, it's a nice package, and I'd really like to get the engine back in it, a new one, and put it back in service somewhere. I don't know where. It probably won't be at this house. Anyway, let's dig into it. I'm gonna pop the cover off this, and I'm gonna show you guys what I found. Now, I've already torn it apart. I've taken the generator head off it. It's ready to pull the engine out and do an engine swap. So it's a little more dismantled than it was when I found it, but you're gonna get the picture real quick. So let's do that. So as I mentioned, I've already torn this apart. So it's kind of in more pieces than the way I found it. Obviously, it didn't quite look like this when I get a hold of it, when I took the cover off. However, let me see if I can find the parts for you. When I first looked at this, I thought, holy cow, I've run it out of oil. And there was a catastrophic event as a result. This is what I found. That hole, that's how it was. It had thrown a rod completely out through the top of the motor. These pieces here were laying in the bottom. I did look, and there actually was quite a bit of oil in the base of the motor and inside all over the bottom here. So there was plenty of oil in it. Now if you look, let's see if I can turn this. Oh, it's frozen. I want you to look at that. Crank bearing right there. Now, granted, it has frost on it right now, but you can see it is scored all to pieces. It's taken a lot of damage. And I'm going to show you what came out of it. This is a counterbalance. That's fine. That was not an issue. More parts. So you're probably asking yourself, like what I did, what in the world happened to this thing? It had been running fine. I hadn't heard any strange noises or anything. Granted, it had been a while since I'd heard it exercise, I guess. We hadn't had a big outage or anything like that. So I'm digging through the pieces, and this has been sitting on my desk at work. I'm no engine mechanic, but I can tell you that is the crank end of the rod. You can see it broke it right off. See how that's broken? And you can see where it was against the crank, that journal bearing, what bearing it had, the damage that took. But notice something Not sure if I can get the light on that. Where that cap bolt goes into, the threads are fine. It's hard to show on the camera. Take my word for it. The threads on this side are perfectly fine. This side is sheared off, okay? So think about that. You engine guys probably are like, I know exactly what happened. The best I can find, since these are, see how that's not damaged? The threads, there you go. The threads right there are in good shape. The bolt holding the rod cap on at the crank came out. It came out of the engine while it was running. And of course, as it was going up and down, one side had come free. And so the rest of it just grenaded itself into a bunch of little pieces. If I look up inside, here, that's the other end of the rod right there where it broke. You can see the base of the piston right there. All that's fully intact. None of that actually got damaged. Basically, that piece that I was just holding broke off right here on that rod when it left the crank bearing right here and flew out through the top of the engine. It just disintegrated it. I'm pretty confident I know what happened. And so I even called Generac, and I knew this thing was way out of warranty, several years out of warranty. But I thought, if I show them the type of damage this had and how it likely occurred, there's nothing I could have done about preventing that bolt from coming out of the cap on this, other than it clearly, I'm assuming, wasn't torqued properly. So after reaching out to Generac, I gave them a call and I showed them, I sent some pictures and I said, this is what I found. And they pulled up my serial number and they seemed very responsive at first. And then they just immediately said, you're outside of your warranty period, have a nice day. And I was thinking to myself, you know, I guess that's not completely unexpected. I understand. It's not under warranty. It's not under warranty. There's not much they're going to do about it. They didn't offer to source an engine for me. They didn't offer to find the nearest service center. They didn't do anything. They just said, out of warranty, have a nice day. So they kind of left me high and dry on that. And like I said, that frustrated me to the point that I said, I'm not going to fix it. And I put it out on a pallet and it's been sitting out behind the house in the snowbank that you just saw me take it out of. So some time has passed and I've put another system in, but I do, like I mentioned, I do think it's a nice setup, and I can get a new motor for about $600 that's a direct replacement, and I can just bolt it in, wire it up, and use it again somewhere. I might take it to the camp or something, down to the lake. It would be nice to have some backup power there. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I could use it here, and I can explain that when you see my next video about what I did do here. I could use it here some. It probably wouldn't get used very much, but it would be peace of mind. So anyway, I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. I think I can send you pictures if there's something I missed. There are parts to it scattered throughout the bottom of this. I think I showed you what I felt was most important, but if there's something else, I'd love to hear it. I think it simply wasn't torqued properly, or for some reason that bolt came out, and you know, that was just the end of it. Not something you hear of very often. I didn't see much on the internet about it. So anyway, that's my story. Maybe in one of the future videos, you'll see me putting a motor in this thing and resurrecting it, bringing it back to life. But for now, I'm going to tuck it back in, cover it up, and set it out behind the house until I figure out what to do next. So that's it for now. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.